Welcome to video number 9. This is my second video about Power Query. In this video we are going to go a little bit deeper. Actually the objective is to draw a map inside a dashboard, and this map should be interactive with other chart, and using some slicers you can control the map. Actually we are going to use Power Query to connect information from internet, particularly from Wikipedia, and then we will use Power Query to load it into Excel, and from Excel we are going to use the slices and the charts to combine the dashboard. Before knowing how we're going to do that, let's look at what exactly we want to do. So this is our dashboard. As you can see, it contains world population by country. So here is the world map, and you can see some numbers representing the population for each country. So you can see China is the biggest country in terms of population, 1.4 billion, and you can see here a chart, a bar chart starting from China, the biggest country in the list that we have, and it goes down up to very small other countries. And you can see here there is our 5 continents, and here is the list of the countries that we use to draw the map. So this dashboard is interactive. So if we select Africa as an example, you can see the map changed, and we can see African countries. We can see Egypt, Nigeria, Algeria, and you can see here also the changes happened to the bar chart. Nigeria at the top, then Ethiopia, then Egypt, and also the list of countries. Now all the countries inside Africa. You have Algeria. If you select Algeria as an example, you can see Algeria map itself, and also the chart changed here. So you can just remove the filter and remove the filter, and then you're back to the entire world map. So let's start by looking at what exactly I'm going to do. So using Power Query, and we are going to get list of countries and population from Wikipedia, and then we have another Excel workbook contains mapping of the continents and the countries. We are going to merge these two tables together inside Power Query, and then we are going to load it into Excel table. And then we are going to prepare a bar chart and a map chart in Excel. We'll combine both together in a dashboard, and we are going to use slicer to visually interact with the dashboard. So let's start from scratch from a new Excel sheet. So as long as we are going to use Power Query, we are going to go to data ribbon. Here on the left corner you can see the Power Query section, and from get data, from other sources, from web, it will open a small dialog box asking you what URL exactly you want to use, and I already have the URL here, so I just copy. It's a Wikipedia site. Click OK. It's connecting to the internet. A navigator will open to ask me exactly what information I want to connect. As you can see here, I have 3 objects or 3 tables inside this website: document, and this one, and a table. This is exactly what I want: list of countries and population. You can also view it from the web view. You can see here exactly the how the web page looks like, and here is the table I'm connecting to. So I know this is my table. I'm going to click here to transform. It will open the Power Query editor, and I'm going to start doing some transformation to the data inside this table. So the first one, you can see here the header is repeated. I want the header to be only once. So from home ribbon, I'm going to remove rows and click on remove top rows. A small window will open asking me how many rows you want to delete. I want to delete only 1. So once it opens, I'll type 1 and OK. And you can see here the only one header, and from the first row you can see the data starts. I'm going to check one by one, column by column, and see what transformation is required. First one is rank, remove because I don't need it. So I can remove from home, remove columns, or just right click and remove. This China, this is the list of countries, and it's you can check here the data type. It's ABC, or this means text, or from home also you can check it's text here. So, but the title is too big, so I'm going to double click, and I'm going to delete until I have only the name country. Then I can also do the same here because it's a very big name. I can just use a shorter name. I can use population by country, copy from here, just double click here, Control V, enter, and that's it. Then the second column is population. It should be numbers, but it reads here text. This is not good. I can just click on the ABC here. It will give me all the option for changing data, or I can do it from upside here from the home ribbon data type, and I think whole number will be suitable. Then I can see a lot of zeros here. I think this will not help me in the report, so I want to divide by 1000 at least. So from transform, number column, standard, divide, a small dialog box will open, type 1000, okay, now it's by divided by 1000, and it's now decimal number, not whole number, so there is some decimals here up to 3 points or maybe more, so I want to round it, so I'm going again to transform, number column, and click on rounding, round, a small dialog box asking me how many decimal places. I want 0, and okay, and now I have this column is ready. Date, no need for the date. Home, remove columns. Percentage, yes, I need the percentage. It reads also text. From here, change to percentage. Now it's percentage. So I have here 4 columns, and I have 240 rows represent 240 countries. It's too much for my map. I want just to have the big countries. So let's look at the data. I think we can stop somewhere at the spectrum of 4 million Panama. So actually I will select anything that higher than 4 million. So from population here I will select the filter and number filter, and I will go to greater than, and I will type 4000 here. Actually not 4 million because I already divided by 1000, and you can see here I have only 131 rows instead of 240. The last column here is source. I don't need it, and I think I don't need also the percentage now. I already did all the transformation needed and all the filtration. So now this table is ready. I have 2 columns only, and information is transformed and ready for the next step. So from home I'm going to go to new source, click on new source, file, Excel. So I want to load the mapping, and I have it here, continent mapping. So this file will tell me exactly each country of these countries located in which continent. I'm going to import this. It's an Excel sheet. It will open also the navigation because there is multiple objects in each Excel sheet. Every sheet is an object and every table is an object, and if I have named areas or print areas, it also appears as objects in the Excel sheet. So I have here 2 objects. This one is a table named continent mapping, and this one is the sheet that contains the table. So how I knew that this is the table and this is the sheet, because of this blue ribbon on the top here representing the header of the table. So I'm going to select the table. It's much easier. You can see here the countries and the continent for each country. I'm going to click OK. This will load a new query, and if you look here, I have now the 2 queries. This is the one I just loaded, and this is the first one. I'm going to the first one, and now I want to merge both queries together. So I'm going to click on merge from home ribbon, merge, and this dialog box will open. The first table will appear here on the top, a sample from the data from this table. I have two columns, country and population. I want to merge it with the other table, continent mapping. I have also two columns, country and continent. So in order to start merging, I need to highlight the columns that I'm going to match. So I'm going to match country from the population by country with country in the content mapping, and you can see here it's matching 100%, 131 out of the first 131 rows, so it's 100% matching. So I'm going to click OK. So once I click OK, a new column will be created, but you can see here there is no information, it's only table. But when I select the cell here with the table, I can see the content of this table down here. So in this case, it matches the China from this table with the China in the other table, and telling me that the continent for China is Asia. So and the same for each other table here. So what I want to tell Power Query is to bring the Americas here and put it in front of Brazil, so I have the whole information inside the same table. So I'm going to use this button. It's two arrows in different directions, so I'm going to click on it, and don't forget to uncheck this, and you can see the two columns in the other table is already represented here. So I need only the content, so I will uncheck country and click OK, and here you go, the content comes to the table. I want to put it at the beginning, so I'm just click and hold and take it to the beginning. So I have the content, the country and the population. Now I am ready to close and load. So from here I'm going to close and load, and by default it's going to load two tables, and because we have two queries, so it's going to do this twice, one for the population by country and one for the continent mapping. And here I have sheet 4 and sheet 5. Sheet 4 actually I don't need, or sheet 5, which contains the country, and that was only for mapping, so I don't need to leave it here. So I can just go here and delete. But remember, this is a read-only version of the original data, so if I select some information here and press on delete and then right click and refresh, the information will come again. So the best way to delete this is going to the query name here and right click and press on load to. It will open this dialog box. I'm going to select only create connection, meaning that it will stay in the background but it will not appear on the Excel table or Excel sheet. When you click OK, it will give you a warning. Click OK, the information will going to be deleted. I can also delete the sheet itself to make sure that the size of the workbook is not increasing. And you can see this one connection only. However, this one telling you it's 131 rows loaded, and it's here in sheet 4. I'm going to change this to yeah, actually I have the name of the table. If you check design, you can see the name of the table. I can just copy and change the name. This is much easier than typing myself. So I think now that our data is ready, I can just sort this. It will help us in doing the charts. So I'm going to sort from the largest to smallest. So I'll start with China, and at the end down there you see the smallest ones, and also some number formatting. So when I put data labels, it will be very helpful also. So I'm going to select the entire first two columns, actually the country and population, and from insert I'm going to select bar charts. You can see the bar charts here, and actually it is in reverse order, but this is not a problem. I can just click here and right click, format axis, You can take this out now, and you can select categories in reverse order. Now it's ordered correctly. I don't need the labels of the axes. I'm going to delete. I don't need the title. Delete. I don't need the grid lines. Select and delete. Let's increase the size a little bit. I think we started to see a little bit what we saw in the demo. So I think we are more or less there. So I'm going to take it to the dashboard sheet, Control X to cut, and then in the dashboard on the right side, Control V to paste. Then I'm going back, the same selection here, insert. This time I'm going to insert map. And once I click on map, it will take some time to load. That's good. It's already loaded. So you can see your map is already color coded. The dark blue represent the high numbers, and the light blue represent the small numbers. And you can see China and India, the biggest two countries. So I'm going to put the legend on the left. All right, and I'm going to change the projection of the mapping to Mercator, so you can see it's easier to view the upper countries of the world. You can see easily Canada and Russia, so it's much easier to view the countries. And now I'm going to change also in the color. So in series color, I'm going to have two options. You have the 2-color scale and 3-color scale. So I'm going to stick to the 2 colors, but I will give darker blue, and here you can use some gray. I think this will give you better visualization of the ranges of the population. I think we are now more or less. We can change the title. I have a title here. We can use world population by country. Control C, double click, and Control V, and then I will cut again the map, and I'm going to put it in the dashboard, so we can start to draw the dashboard. So now I have the map, I have the bar chart, so I think we are not too far from what we want. So I'm going to align both together here. I'm going to increase the map side a little bit to match here. I think this is too wide. We can take it a little bit like this. And there is a very good option here. You can see the grids, and you can see that your chart is not aligned 100% with the grids, and it's not very easy to do it by your hand. It will move every time. So if you use Alt, it will help you, and you move. You can see it's moving. I can put it here in this corner. Let's put it like here, right, little bit in the right. Same for the map. I'll put it here. I want to close this gap, so I'm going to increase little bit the chart. So now it's aligned. I can do the same from the bottom side. Align to grid, and here also align to grid, like this, using the Alt key. And here also from the left side, I can take it one to the right to align. I can also move with alignment. Now I'm selecting both together with Control, and then I will start to move, and using Alt I'm going to align like this. So I think we are more or less not very far from what we saw in the dashboard, although I think the color of the background need to be changed. So I will select all the entire sheet, and I'm going to use a little bit dark gray. It's now getting closer and closer. Let me remove this. I'll start with the view. We'll take out the formula bar, the headlines, and also let's take this up. So I think I'm not very far. The final thing is to try to make this dashboard interactive, and this is very easy using slicers. So I'll go back to the table. I will select any cell inside the table, and from insert or from design I can choose slicer, and I will take a slicer for continent and one for country and click on OK. I have now two slicers. Select both. Option ribbon will appear. From option, slicer option, hide items with no data, because in this case if I select this continent, which is Africa, you will see only the countries associated with Africa will appear only here. And on the other side, if I remove this filter and I'm going to select something like Afghanistan, which is in Asia, I'm sorry, just wrong selection. If I'm going to select a country like Algeria, which inside Asia, I will see Afghanistan inside Asia. I'll see only Asia here. So this is very good option. So it will not allow me to select wrong data. I will clear all the filters now, and I will select both together again. And from options, I'm going to select the gray, and both selected. Control X, dashboard, Control V. I'll start with the country one. I'll take it to the left side with the Alt to make sure that I'm aligned. Yes. Little bit down. Alright. Now it's aligned. I'll take it also longer and longer and longer up to little bit below the map, and I think we are more or less here. So the second slicer I'm going to highlight also. From option, increase number of columns to 5, and then using Alt again, align with all with the grid, and increase using again Alt, increase to the end, and then from down here please also use Alt to size it down and align here. I think we are now more or less like what we saw in the demo. I want to increase the height of these buttons. Very easy. Select the slicer option, buttons height 1, 2. I think this is very good now. If you look here, we're almost done, and also it's centralized inside the Excel sheet. Let's try to use the slicers. Africa. Now we have the Africa, and you can see countries changed. List of countries only Africa. Just forgot to put data labels here. Add data label. You can see the labels on each of the countries. America, the same. US, Canada. Here you can see Brazil. This is Argentina. All America's countries are here. Same for Europe, and same for China, and for Asia. You will see here is Russia. If you look at Asia, you will see China and India, and you can see all the countries on the chart. But this we reached the end of this video, and let's recap together what exactly we did. We used Power Query to get information from Wikipedia, and we used also a lookup table from Excel workbook. We merged both together. We loaded to Excel table, and then we prepared a chart and a map chart. We combined a dashboard, and we used a slicer to visually interact with the dashboard. Hope that was useful. Thank you very much, and see you in next video, and bye.